This survey must be completed in one sitting. The evaluation of each pair should take 1 to 2 minutes and approximately 1 hour to complete the survey. The tab and user ID will expire if left inactive for longer than 15 minutes. Participants will answer 3 questions per image and 1 comparison question per pair of images. Each question is answered based on the impression presented as is and without the opportunity for any other enhancement. The first question asks the user which class features can be reliably estimated, and it should take no more than 10 seconds to answer. You may not recognize the impression's make and model. However, if the impression contains sufficient quality and quantity of information, and you had all possible resources at your disposal, such as a make and model database, then it would be reasonable to report that you could reliably estimate the make and model. Conversely, if the image is partial, you might reply that you can only estimate design elements. When answering the general where question, you may find it useful to use the magnifier, which is automatically activated if the cursor is dragged over the impression window. If all characteristics are observed, all can be chosen. None can be reported if nothing is observed. Note that all impressions are of the right shoe, so physical shape assessment is not asked. The second question asks the user about details that limit the possible source of an impression, such as Shalomak patterns and possible randomly acquired characteristics. This question should take approximately 15 seconds. For this question, the magnifier tool will likely be useful. Concerning possible racks, assume only the first step in sequential unmasking, wherein the questioned impression is examined first and possible racks are highlighted. We are only asking if the impression contains sufficient detail, clarity, and minimal background interference such that if racks are present, they are visible. The third question is worded such that if examiners were given the shoe and all necessary test impressions created using the shoe, they could form an opinion regarding possible source association. To answer the question, the strongest conclusion or maximum value of the impression is requested. For example, if the questioned impression has sufficient detail and totality to allow visualization of Shalomak patterns and possible racks, identification is the strongest conclusion or maximum value. After examining both impressions, a final comparison question is asked regarding the quality and quantity of forensic information present per impression. Quality of information includes sharp versus smudged edges, while quantity includes a full versus partial impression or the presence of racks in one image but not in the second. If the next button is inactive, please check if any required questions have not been answered. At the bottom of the survey, a progress bar shows how many pairs are finished out of the total number of pairs. If you need to review the terminology and/or the SwigTread 2013 standards, click the drop-down menu on the top right corner of the header. If you have any technical difficulties and need to contact the research staff, click the envelope icon to send an email. Lastly, the goal of the survey is to infer quality based on the totality of information available in an impression, and it is not intended to be a detailed examination or evaluate the examiner's proficiency and accuracy.